What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Big Fight Field channel, where we speak the truth, we're honest, we give our takes on the Miami Dolphins. It is Thursday night, September 29th, 2022. First off, before I get into anything about the Dolphins game tonight, hope all the Florida people out there are staying safe and staying inside from Hurricane Ian. It caused a lot of damage to the state of Florida, and I really hope that everybody is staying safe. If you're a Floridian and watching this, I hope everybody is safe. Fort Myers and Sarasota were hit really hard from the hurricane, and I just hope everybody in the Florida area, like myself, is safe. So, had to say that. It's the biggest thing in the world going on right now, the Hurricane Ian. So I hope everybody is staying safe. Really rough night for our Miami Dolphins. They did take the loss to the Cincinnati Bengals, 27-15. At the end of the day, I don't even care about the loss that much. We're in a fine spot. We're still 3-1. Prayers up to Tua Tagovailoa, Dolphins starting quarterback. You guys watched the game. You guys obviously know what happened. Tua was sacked in the second quarter, and he was sacked to the ground with his head hit in the turf, and his fingers were in a really stiff, uncomfortable position. He was unconscious. He couldn't move for about 10 minutes, was laying on the turf, and was stretchered off the field. It was a really, really uncomfortable thing to watch. It was an uncomfortable situation, and you just hate to see that to any player in the NFL, not just the starting quarterback for your favorite team, just any player in the NFL. And I feel devastated. I felt empty. For a little bit, for most of the game after Tua got hurt, I had no energy because of what happened with Tua, and all I could think about while sitting on my couch watching the game is, I hope Tua's okay. I hope that Tua Tagovailoa is okay, because that was brutal, man. That was really a brutal thing to watch, and seeing how he was spun down. It was a fine hit. It wasn't a dirty hit for anybody that's claiming it was a dirty hit. It was a normal NFL sack, but the way he landed on his head and the fingers in the uncomfortable position, when his fingers were like that, I immediately knew it was a concussion, and it looked really bad. So it's really sad, and it was so heartbreaking. They showed his parents during the pregame. His parents were there to watch it and play, and now, they had to see that. I'm devastated for him. I'm devastated for his parents that had to watch that. It's just, the whole thing was so uncomfortable. And I got some other things that I'm probably going to regret saying, that I'll watch back tomorrow and be like, why would I say that? But the best news I want to say was the Amazon broadcast at the end of the game said that Tua got evaluated at the hospital by the University of Cincinnati doctors. He'll be released from the hospital and will be traveling home with the Dolphins. That's the biggest W we can ask for tonight. That's more of a bigger W than beating the Cincinnati Bengals, which didn't happen, but I'm just so happy that he's fine and he's going to be traveling back with the team. and he seems to be okay. Um, man, I don't want to bring anything negative, but man, this guy needs rest. He really does. He got banged up during the Bills game. Obviously, serious injury tonight against the Bengals. Um, Knowing the competitor and the heart and the mentality that Tua has, Tua is more than likely going to want to play next week. Um, if I'm the Dolphins, I'm not letting him play. He needs rest. He needs to recuperate his body, um, relieve some stress, relieve some pain, because that was absolutely brutal to watch. It was like my heart sank watching him lay there, and he was unconscious and he couldn't do anything. It was really, really, it was a really heartbreaking thing to watch. So, but I'm glad, like they said that at the end of the broadcast, and I'm like, man, I'm so happy that he's okay. He's traveling back with the team because he wasn't moving for 5 minutes, a good 5 to 10 minutes, and I was really scared at that point. I'm like, what if, who knows? Like, what if he's paralyzed or something, and this could change him for the rest of his life outside of football as well. And now I know that the Dolphins team doctors, the doctor that cleared Tua to play on Sunday against the Bills, they're going to be questioned about letting Tua go back into that game. And now looking back on it with tonight, I'm not even Sunday. He got hit. He was evaluated for a concussion. He passed. I'm not worried about that. He was fine on Sunday. If he wasn't fine on Sunday, he wouldn't have came back in the second half, and he wouldn't have made that 45-yard pass to Jalen Waddle on 3rd and 22. Okay? So let's just put that aside. Should he have played tonight? Looking back on it, probably not. He probably shouldn't have played tonight. Short week, not a lot of preparation because of the hurricane, and he was, evaluated for concussion. His back was hurting. Today it said his toe was hurting. So looking back on the situation and what happened tonight, should Tua have played? Probably not. But I don't think the Dolphins did anything ridiculous to send Tua back into the game on Sunday. He was fine and he was ready to go. And more than likely, it's going to be questions for the team doctor who cleared him and the neurologist who cleared him to play tonight. So for the doctor who cleared him and for the neurologist who cleared him, that's who should be getting the hard-hitting questions from the NFLPA, not the Miami Dolphins. So, and he got cleared by two. I'm reading it right now from Barry Jackson. He says Amazon, after ignoring Tua last Sunday, NFLPA complaint issue at halftime, now leading their post-game show with 10 minutes on it. 2 doctors cleared him on Sunday. Whether it was the right call or not, many people without medical degrees spewing on Twitter tonight. They shouldn't even be. Those people can't talk. Like people, like y'all are not doctors. I'm not a doctor. I'm not saying he should have been cleared or not, but I don't know. At the end of the day, we're gonna find out. We're gonna wait and see what happens. And I'm happy he's traveling back with the team, man. That's the biggest, that's the biggest W we can ask for tonight. And the last thing I want to bring up, this is the part where I said, I'm probably going to go back and watch this, and I'm going to probably be like, I shouldn't have said this. I shouldn't have said this or this. But man, I saw some comments on Twitter by Bills fans. I would say, and I really don't block. In my early days in Twitter, I used to block people left and right if they were annoying or arrogant or whatever. I really haven't blocked people on Twitter in a very long time. I would say tonight I blocked around 5 to 10 Buffalo Bills fans. I mean, the national media wants to go out and say they're the most passionate fans, they're the they're they're the classiest fans. They're one of the most classless fan bases in all of sports. The shit that I heard that I saw them say on Twitter tonight is, oh, you know, Tua's MVP status is going down now. Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle aren't going to be the same without Tua. Um, you know, Stephon Diggs is back to being the best receiver in the league. Bills have the division on lockdown. Shit that I'm seeing from people who hide behind avatars of Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen are sort of the most classless, pathetic pieces of shit in the NFL community. And I probably shouldn't have said that, but I don't care. I mean, I'm at the heat of the moment right now. It's just pathetic. It really is. And it goes to show you how classless some NFL fan bases are. The Buffalo Bills, bright example. Probably one of the most classless NFL fan bases in the NFL. They're absolutely disgusting. They really are. And I can't stand those fans. I really can't. Those people who are celebrating anybody who is celebrating Tua getting injured and Tua getting carted off the field tonight, those people can kick rocks. They really can. So those people are pathetic. Those people are worthless. And those are the type of people we don't want to associate ourselves with. So that's my rant on the classless comments made on Tua tonight by some Bills fans on Twitter, which is unbelievable. They're some of the worst fans in all sports. Now that we talked about Tua and the whole situation to start the show, we are going to get in the game here. Dolphins take the loss tonight, 27-15. Good game by Cincinnati. They're a really good team. They outperformed the Dolphins in the fourth quarter. We'll talk about the game in just a little bit. We're gonna get to some stats first. We got Teddy Bridgewater, who came in and backed up for Tua Tagovailoa. He went 14 for 23, 193 yards, 1 touchdown, and a stupid interception at the end of the game. Hold on. I'll be back in a second. Hold on. Sorry. My bad, y'all. My bad. So, as I was saying, Teddy Bridgewater, a 14 for 23, 193 yards, 1 touchdown, and a stupid interception to basically end the game, which the Dolphins were having a nice drive, and he fucking ruined it. So, Tua, 8 for 14, 110 yards, and an interception. Raheem Mostert, 15 carries, 69 yards. Chase Edmonds, 5 carries, 6 yards. I do think it's very clear that Raheem Mostert is the best running back on this team. Chase Edmonds is a good passing back. He's good for scrimmage yards, short gains, screen passes, and that was very evident on that 3rd and inches play, where instead of handing it off to Mostert, who wasn't in, they gave it to Chase Edmonds, who got blown up in the backfield by Logan Wilson. Raheem Mostert is clearly the better running back on this Dolphins team. Tyreek Hill, 10 catches, 160 yards. He had a really good night, 14 targets tonight, and averaged 16 yards a catch. Trent Sherfield, 4 catches, 55 yards. Jalen Waddle, 2 catches for 39 yards. Mike Gesicki, 2 catches for 23. And Chase Edmonds, 2 catches for 14 yards and a touchdown. So that's the Dolphins stats. We got Joe Burrow, 20 for 31, 287 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Joe Mixon, 24 carries, 61 yards, and a touchdown. T. Higgins had a big night for the Bengals. He burned Xavier Howard for a 59-yard touchdown. This was literally right after the Tua injury too. He had 7 catches, 124 yards, and 1 touchdown. Jamar Chase, 4 catches for 81 yards. Tyler Boyd, 2 catches for 47 yards. And Hayden Hurst, 3 catches for 27 yards and a touchdown. The Dolphins, one of the key things tonight was getting pressure on Joe Burrow. The Dolphins defense had 1 sack. So that was that. Let's go over this game. So the game started with the Bengals having the ball. They go 9 plays, 75 yards, marching up and down the field for a touchdown. It ends with a Joe Mixon touchdown for 5 yards, which he was pushed in the end zone. And this was a clear example of an exhausted Miami Dolphins defense who is coming off a game where they literally went toe for toe, tooth and nail with the Buffalo Bills. 90 plays on Sunday, and it definitely showed on that first drive. The Bengals marching down the field for the opening drive touchdown. Next drive, the Dolphins go 9 plays, 70 yards. They start out with Raheem Mostert, 7-yard carry. Tua Tagovailoa finds Tyreek Hill for 26 yards. Tua then finds Jalen Waddle for 20 yards. 2nd and 10, Tua, a beautiful pass to Trent Sherfield for 11 yards. And on 3rd and goal, Tua throws a beautiful pass to Chase Edmonds, and Chase Edmonds dropped the pass in the back of the end zone, which was brutal and could have been a completely different game possibly if Chase Edmonds catches that touchdown. Instead, the Dolphins have to settle for a 23-yard field goal with Jason Sanders. Bengals go 6 plays, 14 yards, and they punt after a 3rd and 8 pass to Samaje Perine, which is incomplete. Tua on 2nd and 8 throws a deep pass into double coverage to Tyreek Hill, which was intercepted by Von Bell. The Bengals then, going into the second quarter, go 10 plays, 47 yards, 3rd and 1. Joe Burrow throws it to Wilcox, which gets it down to the Dolphins' 44-yard line. 3rd and 1. Mixon runs it up for 2 yards. 3rd and 5. Joe Burrow scrambles for 4 yards. And on 4th and 1, instead of kicking the field goal, Cincinnati goes for it, and Joe Mixon gets no gain with a nice tackle by Eric Rowe, which was a beautiful stop and a much-needed stop for this Dolphins defense. So we continue in the second quarter. The Dolphins go 8 plays for 46 yards. Second and 11, Tua finds Tyreek Hill for 17 yards. Second and 9, Tua short pass to Tyreek Hill for 5 yards. Tua on third and four, excuse me. Throws an incomplete pass deep left to Tyreek Hill, but it's a penalty for defensive pass interference on Chibata Uwuzie. So that brings the Dolphins down to the Bengals 30. Third and 10, Tua feels the pressure and throws an incomplete pass to Tyreek Hill. And we get a 48-yard field goal by Jason Sanders to make it a 7-6 game. Bengals go 3 and out and punt. Second and 7 on the Bengals 40. Tua gets sacked. This was the play he got injured. His head hit the ground. He was laying with his fingers all crippled up in a very awkward position. You see the way his fingers were, you immediately think concussion. That's what I thought. I already talked about the whole situation. Super, super scary. He was on the ground for like 10 minutes and then got carted off. Also, shout out to Houday Nation with chants of Tua and chanting his name and cheering while Tua was stretchered off the field. Much respect to Houday Nation and the Cincinnati Bengal fans. So, Teddy Bridgewater comes in. Third and 17, we're at midfield, and he throws a 16-yard pass to Trent Sherfield. At this situation, I would have gone for it. We have nothing to lose. We are in with a backup quarterback. All you have to do is run most of it up the middle. A bubble pass to Tyreek Hill. Instead, we go for a 52-yard field goal on 4th and 1, and it got blocked. And at this point, the way Tua went down within it, at this point, just the vibe of this game was gone. The energy with this game was gone. I felt no energy watching the game. I felt no excitement watching the game. And I can't remember the last time, probably sometime last year, because of how bad we started the season. But in a meaningful game like this was, I felt no energy after Tua got down and went injured. And that's rare. That's rare for me to feel that. So, Dolphins missed a field goal. Bengals go 3 plays, 58 yards on 3rd and 11. Joe Burrow throws it up to T. Higgins for 59 yards. He beats Xavier Howard, and he takes it to the house for a 59-yard touchdown. Another factor that played into the game, Xavier Howard had a groin injury going into the game. He played, and in the fourth quarter, he wasn't out there because that groin was coming back to haunt him, and he didn't play the fourth quarter. And we'll get to the fourth quarter when we get there, but the Miami Dolphins secondary was stuck out there with a bunch of backups against one of the best receiving corps in the NFL, and we had no chance. We got toasted. We were out there with Nick Needham, Keon Crossan, Kader Kohu, and I'm not saying this for an excuse. This is facts. It was a very unlikely chance that we were going to win the game when Xavier Howard wasn't out there to cover one of the guys. And that's why Jamar Chase had a big fourth quarter. That's why Tyler Boyd got that big catch. But we'll get there when we get there. So the Bengals score a touchdown. It is 14-6. This is Teddy Bridgewater's first full drive of the game. 2nd and 8 at the Dolphins 27. Raheem Mostert for 4 yards. Sam Hubbard gets called for unnecessary roughness. It brings the Dolphins to their own 46-yard line. Teddy Bridgewater throws a short pass to Jalen Waddle, which goes for 19 yards. Second and 35. Teddy gets it to Tyreek Hill for 11 yards. Second and 9. Raheem Mostert for 4 yards. And then third and 5. Teddy Bridgewater finds Trent Sherfield for 12 yards. And then the next play, a short shovel pass to Chase Edmonds, gets him in the end zone. Jason Sanders misses the extra point, and the Dolphins are down 14-12 against the Bengals going into halftime. Even when the Dolphins scored, I felt no energy. I felt no excitement, and I was just worried about Tua at that point. So we get to the second half. Dolphins go 3 and out. Bengals go 5 plays, 8 yards. Third and 6. Joe Burrow gets sacked by Jalen Phillips. That was the only sack on the game. Dolphins not really implying a lot of pressure against Joe Burrow with a not-so-great offensive line with Cincinnati. So it is what it is. Dolphins, another 3 and out with a 2-yard pass to Mike Gesicki on third and 4. Defense holds Cincinnati again with a 3 and out, or not a 3 and out, but with a punt. Burrow incomplete to Chris Evans on third and 6. And on next drive, Dolphins go 7 plays, 88 yards. They get a 5-yard run from Raheem Mostert, a 16-yard pass from Bridgewater to Sherfield, first and 10 at the Dolphins 31. Teddy Bridgewater completes a pass to Tyreek Hill for 64 yards, which was bobbled, and then Tyreek Hill came down with the ball with an amazing catch. And when I tell you, people want to say when they're criticizing Tua with his deep ball passes that he really doesn't have the arm strength and he puts everything he can into his throw. When I tell you Teddy Bridgewater literally put everything into this throw, he put everything into this throw. He was winding back, chucking that ball up as far as he could. Luckily, he got it down to Tyreek Hill, which was close to being intercepted, but Tyreek came down with the ball for 64 yards. The Dolphins should have came away with the touchdown in this drive. They got a field goal. If they scored a touchdown, who knows what this game would have looked like. So they run with Mostert on first and goal, they get 3 yards. They run with Mostert on second and goal, they get no gain. Teddy Bridgewater throws an incomplete pass to Tyreek in the end zone. We settle for a Jason Sanders 20-yard field goal. And the Dolphins are up by 1, 15-14, going into the fourth quarter. And they showed Xavier Howard on the sideline in the fourth quarter with a wrap and ice around his groin. And I'm like, oh, God, this sucks. Because even though he got burnt, I would have liked to have him out there in the fourth quarter against Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Tyler Boyd. Instead, we got to trot out Nick Needham, Kader Kohu, and Keon Crossan. Start the fourth quarter. The Bengals go 9 plays, 74 yards. They get called for offensive holding, which sets them back 10 yards. Joe Burrow with a short pass to T. Higgins for 9 yards. Second and 11, no gain for Samaje Perine. On third and 11, the Bengals do a trick play. Burrow throws it to Tyler Boyd, who hits a wide-open Jamar Chase for 23 yards. Just a good play design by the Bengals. Nothing you can do about that. Second and 6, Dolphins blow coverage. Kato Kuhu lost Tyler Boyd, and Joe Burrow was able to hit him for 43 yards down to the Miami 6-yard line. The Dolphins bend but don't break defense, hold the Bengals to a field goal. Joe Mixon 3 yards. Joe Mixon 2 yards, and then Joe Mixon no gain. It was a big stop by Andrew Van Ginkel. Huge drive. I think if the Dolphins scored a touchdown before that, they probably would have gone for it. And who knows? Like I said, who knows what this game would have looked like if we got that touchdown with Edmonds, and if we got that touchdown after the big bomb to Tyreek. Nonetheless, McPherson hits a 19-yard field goal. The Bengals go up 17-15. Dolphins punt 3 and out. This was the play I was talking about with Edmonds. 3rd and inches. Instead of handing it to Mostert, who's the bigger power back, they hand it to Chase Edmonds, which I don't like. And he got stuffed in the backfield by Logan Wilson. Thomas Morstead punts. Bengals go 8 plays, 33 yards. 2nd and 10 at their own 28. Joe Burrow hits T. Higgins for 22 yards. He was covered by Kato Kohu once again. Joe Burrow hits Jamar Chase for 14 yards and a first down. 3rd and 8, false start. 3rd and 13. The pressure got to Joe Burrow, and it was incomplete. And that was a big stop until Evan McPherson came in and absolutely nailed a 57-yard field goal, putting a lot of pressure on Teddy Bridgewater and the Dolphins offense to having to go down there and score a touchdown instead of potentially kicking a field goal to take the lead. So the Bengals are up 20-15. Dolphins go 8 plays, 52 yards. First play of the game, Raheem Mostert gets a 25-yard run. 2nd and 13. Bridgewater dumps it off to Tyreek Hill for 3 yards. 3rd and 10. Bridgewater scrambles, gets the first down with an 11-yard rush. 8 yards for Mostert, 3 yards for Mostert. 2nd and 10. I don't know what route Mike Gesicki was running, but clearly there was some miscommunication between Teddy Bridgewater and Mike Gesicki. Bridgewater didn't even look to see what Gesicki was doing. He just threw it to the spot Gesicki was supposed to be at, and he ended up throwing straight to Von Bell, which was a stupid interception. Oh, God. I hope Tua's okay. I want his health to be the best. But, oh, man. It's going to suck if he's out for a long time because I don't know what's going to happen with Teddy Bridgewater. This gives me vibes of Jacoby Brissett from last year. That play right there reminded me of what Jacoby Brissett was last year for the Miami Dolphins, and it was brutal. I can't deal with this for 5 games, 6 games with Teddy Bridgewater. I don't know. Terrible play all around. And after that, the game was pretty much finished. Bengals go 5 plays, 45 yards. Joe Burrow hits Jamar Chase for 36 yards, which was blown coverage by Keon Crossan. 3rd and goal. Burrow finds Hayden Hurst for a 2-yard touchdown. Extra point is good. And the Bengals win the game 27-15 against the Dolphins, outscoring the Dolphins in the 4th quarter 13-0. So, listen, I'm just going to say it. With Tua being really banged up. With the Tua injury and Xavier Howard going down with his groin bothering him again, like it was against the Bills game. I got to the fourth quarter. We were winning at that point, but I'm like, there's a very unlikely chance that that we win this game because of backup corners covering the Bengals receivers, and that was the turning point in the fourth quarter, and it worked in Cincinnati's favor, of course. And at the end of the day, I don't care about this loss. I'm not upset about this loss. I'm just relieved, and I'm just so happy that Tua is okay, and apparently he's traveling back with the team to Miami, which is phenomenal news. But please, do not rush Tua Tagovailoa back. He needs rest. Give him as much rest as he needs. He needs to recuperate. He needs to relax. We play the Jets next week. I mean, there's no easy game in the NFL. I always have that mentality. But the Jets are not the Baltimore Ravens or Buffalo or Cincinnati. They're just not. The Jets are still a bottom team in the AFC. I'm confident, even though I'm not a big Teddy Bridgewater guy. I mean, I am now. He's the starting quarterback. I'm confident we can beat the Jets with Teddy Bridgewater, even if it's an ugly win. So give Tua as much rest as he needs, man. We need him at 100%. We need him relaxed. We need him, and most importantly, he needs to be healthy for the football player and, more importantly, the human. So the Dolphins take the loss tonight, 27-15 over the Cincinnati Bengals, and are still sitting in a solid spot with a 3-1 record going into October. So I can't complain about that. But I'm getting out of here. Thoughts and prayers for Tua still. I hope he's okay, man. I really hope he's okay. But I'm out of here. Thank you all so much for joining me. If you have not already, be sure to subscribe to the Big Fight Field channel. Comment down below your thoughts on tonight's game between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Dolphins. Hit the like button if you like what you heard from me tonight. You can follow me on Twitter and TikTok as well at Conlon_Joseph. And I'm out of here, man. It's late. I don't know if I'm going to do content over the weekend. I'm thinking about, just relaxing. It was a long week with the hurricane and all that. And the hurricane is dying down right now, which is good. So I'm thinking about just taking the weekend off and starting off with a new week next week. And that's probably the route I'm going to go. So hope you all have a good weekend. Enjoy the football. And I'll be back, let's say Tuesday. Let's say Monday or Tuesday with a new video. I haven't chosen the day yet, but with this week being a Thursday night game, I might do the video on Monday instead of Tuesday. So, but if any big news breaks on Tua over the weekend, I'll try to get it out. I'll try to get the video up as quick as possible if there's any big news that happened over the weekend. So, if not, I'm just going to relax this weekend and just watch some football. So, thank you guys. Prayers for Tua. We love you, Tua. Dolphins fans love you. Have a good one, at least most of us. Have a good one. Stay safe, and as always, stay classy. We out. Peace.